Hey, it's Caroline, career and leadership coach. And today I'm going to share with you 6 insights that you can use to approach people on LinkedIn about jobs that you might have seen. Now, it's a well discussed topic because a lot of people ask a lot of questions to me about, like, how can I use this tool, this platform called LinkedIn? Because there are so many different ways, and so many people do it the wrong way. And as a consequence, they burn bridges. And so you don't want to do that and be in that situation. So here are 6 tips and 6 strategies you can apply on how to actually approach people on LinkedIn without burning bridges. So, because we don't want to do that. So, first of all, before we dive into the 6 things, just want to talk you through the round table that I'm hosting, a free event. It's literally a round table event where we discuss, it's a workshop like event where we discuss insights and opportunities and challenges we face every day. And I will host that next Tuesday evening. And it's all about how to use LinkedIn and how to wow your dream company. Now, this is specifically interesting if you say, like, look, I have like certain skills. I'm a manager, senior manager, a director, and I want to really understand the etiquettes of LinkedIn, my personal brand, and how to optimize that. So it's going to be like 90 minutes about pure value, about how you can actually achieve that using LinkedIn. So let's dive into the cold messages on how to reach or how to use LinkedIn to reach out about job opportunities. Now, the first thing that people need to really clearly understand is the relevancy. So this is so important, because relevancy is where it all starts. If you just start approaching LinkedIn, and a lot of people do this, they get this strategy or hear about this strategy or hear about using LinkedIn to make certain approaches, and what they do is they blast out to whoever they can find, and they start telling how great they are and why the company should hire them, and so on. And so this is doing so much really harm to your brand, because basically you will position yourself really as desperate, because the only thing you do is not showing any relevancy. You're talking about yourself and how great you are, and you just like trying desperately to find out if they can help you. So it's all about you, and it's all about how it would benefit you. And so you're not showing the relevancy. So what I would suggest is, first of all, when you do your research, is understanding what the commonalities are between you and the opportunity in the company. And that can be whatever it is, but just like, so when I say it could be whatever it is, that could be like something that you do in your spare time, a passion that you have, something else, or volunteering work. But like, show your interest. Don't treat it too transactional and black and white and boo. Just be human about this. We're talking to other human beings, and often we forget it because we use this platform, this technology, this online presence, and we just like bang all of those messages out without understanding that there's a human being on the other side. And it's like, make a human connection. And we often forget how to do that, and even though we do it constantly in our lives. But when it comes to job searching, it's like we put all this heaviness around it and all these layers, and it's like we make it so difficult for ourselves to actually connect with other people, because we have all these stigmas going around. So basically, sorry to go on a tangent here, But what is the first thing that is important is for you to understand relevancy, and it's like making it as relevant as possible. Look at that commonality that hooks you to that job, and don't assume that because you have done XYZ in your job that they will actually understand that and they will see it on your profile, because guess what? That doesn't happen. Like, you have to spell it out, and you have to make sure you create a frictionless connection with that person you don't know. And frictionless connection is like, keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it to the point, and keep it relevant. All right, so moving on to step number two. Number two is explore your network. Who do you have in common, that common connections, whether actually it is somebody that even you might not be connected with on the platform itself, on LinkedIn itself. It might be some a neighbor that you know that works for the same company, or it might be somebody you went to school with that you're not necessarily connected with, but use your next network to name drop. And because people, it's like, it's normal, it's human behavior. If somebody reaches out to me that don't know me and say like, hey, I've been actually, I'm in contact with that person, or this person is an acquaintance or a friend of mine, and I was hoping to like really like have a chat about with you about this, it's so much more friendly. So use your network, explore it first. A lot of people don't even take the time, don't be bothered with it, because it makes it takes a little bit more time. It takes a little bit more effort for people to actually like understand the if there is anybody in their network that they can refer to or name drop. And name dropping is so important in terms of like really utilizing your network. This is one of the parts that I love the most. Is like when people ask me how to activate your network, it's about like really understanding, even if you haven't spoken to them in 10 years, it's like really it's time for you to reactivate certain people. And it might be that they just reception, not just sorry, that they're a receptionist, or that they are whatever they are within the company, or the GM, or whatever they are. It's like being able to reactivate and reestablish those people that you have in your network and valuing them for what they bring. And so it's really understanding that your network has power. And a lot of people underestimate it because they feel guilty that they haven't been really active with their network. So they don't want to approach the network because they were going to see like, oh, I'm just using them. And it's like, no, you have to think about ways on how to approach them. Of course, you can't use them only to your benefit. It's like a two-way stream. But what can you do to actually make that connection deeper and to change your standard connection and really make that a relationship? And then from that relationship you can build and make that a strategic alliance, a whole different topics. So that's thing number two, is really understand how your network is. The third one is like know how to approach. A lot of people do the approaches the wrong way. What they do, and I get so many messages, and I should take screenshot of them. They just like send me an initial connection request. It's like, hey, I found your profile, I came across your profile, LinkedIn recommended your profile, like let's connect. And then you connect, and then like 1 second later it's like, oh my god, like this. It's like I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that, are you interested, like reach out, we can have a chat. And it's like, okay, this is what you do on your first date. You ask the person that you have on your first date to marry you. This is not how it works, guys. This is not how you actually like establish whatever you want to establish. It's like you don't ask people to marry you on your first date. You actually have like, it's not because you're connected with them that you immediately can bombard them by saying how great you are. This is where the relevancy piece comes in about again. So it's about understanding how you approach and how you put a message to together. And it's a whole big topic. And join me on the round table. I will actually show you the link. Join me on the roundtable because we will go more deeper into messagings in that workshop, in that free workshop, because it's so important that you do it the right way and not like just generic way, and really customize your approach and really target it, because it makes all the difference in how people will see your message and receive your message. Because it's like I said before, and I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but it's like how you establish that relationship. It's like how you make that connection. Just make sure you understand it's a human being at the other end of the of the internet, of the connection request or the message. And it's like relationship building is something we do on a daily basis. Like how many people that I have as clients that actually are saying to me, like, Caroline, like stakeholder management, relationship building is one of the core things that I do on a daily basis, and I'm really good at it. But when it comes to job searching and doing this, people just freeze and just like are paralyzed and don't know really how to approach this. So that's why I'm saying to you, like, be very mindful what how to actually reach out to people. Okay, so the fourth point is like, make sure your profile is up to date. How many people I see that have like just a standard profile, and that's like not even standing out, not even really like communicating their true unique value proposition. So your profile, your LinkedIn profile needs to have your unique value proposition, your key message, the way you pitch yourself, your elevator pitch, however you want to call it. Make sure it's in your LinkedIn profile. That will increase the relevancy to your the call out. Because what people often do is that you get a message, you check out their LinkedIn profile, and if you even don't see directly the connection, or there is something missing or fishy about that profile, if they don't know you, they will absolutely like not respond. So make sure your LinkedIn profile is up to date. And not up to date. Actually, I'm going to take that back. It needs to sell you. It needs to talk about your unique value proposition. It needs to really put your best foot forward. And if you don't know how to present yourself on your LinkedIn, reach out to me and we will make your LinkedIn pop. So it's really communicating your message. And schedule in a call with me if you're interested in exploring that further. But that it's so important for you to have a LinkedIn profile that really represents brand you and is really like communicating what it is that you can bring to the table. Like so many people have like just an average or an okayish LinkedIn profile, and that is not good enough, and not definitely not good enough in this age. Okay, next step is let me actually see which step is next step is understand how people use LinkedIn. And this is really important. I will also change it back. This is also important in when you do a reach out to a person, and you do a cold message to a person. It's like maybe they aren't even active on LinkedIn. So you have active users, you have passive users, and you have people that actually are very using LinkedIn not as a networking platform. So for you, it's really important to understand how people use LinkedIn. Are they active users? You can see like on how they communicate on LinkedIn. Do they like posts? Do they write posts themselves? Do they write articles and so on? Are they passive users? So in terms of like, yeah, they have a lot of connections, they really take care of their network, they're not really engaging and interacting and using LinkedIn as a platform and as a potential it has, but they are passive users. And then you have really close knit users, people that only connect with people that they know and have met in person. That is okay. But you, as a candidate interested in whatever, You need to know what that person, how they use LinkedIn, and respect that, because your chances of getting a reply, getting an in, being well received by somebody who's really like only connecting with people that they have met and really has a low number of connections, it's going to just like not be as relevant for them. So they're going to just like, they're going to be very cagey, and they're going to see like, this person just is out for, they just want to connect with me because I have a job to recruit for. So you don't want to basically like, oh, hey, my dog. You don't want to actually have that whatsoever. And so then the next part is basically looking at your message. Like we often use, we are very apologetic. We constantly, not we, like a lot of people, and I've been guilty of that in the past. We actually go out and say like, oh my God, I'm sorry to bother you. We haven't been introduced face to face. I'm so sorry of all of this. And it's by being so apologetic that it's really like diffusing the message, what we're here to tell. So be very clear in your message. Don't camouflage your things. I know a lot of people on the internet say, like, oh, yes, first show value before you start talking about what you want. Like, there are ways you have to do this. I do agree. You have to be very strategic and relationship focused. But you also, people are not an idiot. Like if I'm recruiting and people reach out to me and start talking about the great weather and how they just enjoy living in Sydney and blah blah blah, it's like, come on, dude or dudette, get to the point. Like, I know there is something in it that you want. Like, what is it that you're looking for? So it's all about you being very conscious about how to craft that message and being very real about this. So if you combine being authentic, being real, with name dropping of people that you might have in common, with relevancy, have an up to date profile, and making sure that it's not all about you, you have a winning combination going on here. And then there is a last part, it's maybe number 7 tip that I want to give you. Also, be very clear with your expectations. So, with this, I mean, it's not because you send one message off and the person doesn't respond. It doesn't mean anything about your worth. It doesn't mean anything about your capability. It doesn't mean anything how good you are or bad you are. What I'm here to say is, don't make a story around this. And we often do this. It's like, oh my God, they didn't respond to me. I must be bad. And it's like, for all you know, the other person doesn't really check LinkedIn, and they haven't seen your message. For all you know, they're on holiday. For all you know, they're just like having deadlines to meet, and they're not, people are not viciously intentionally. Some people are vicious, but it's like most people are just like, they really mean it, come from a good place. And if you make sure it's your message is relevant, and you follow the LinkedIn etiquette, so you approach it in a nice way, you actually respect the human on the other side, you will actually like make sure that you come across in such a way that it's very hard for people to just ignore and say like, oh my God, that's another person approaching me on LinkedIn, blah blah blah. If you do it the nice way, like, people are very responsive. People don't, like, think about it yourself. If so, I will give you an example. um I was a HR business partner, and a person responded, sent me a cold message, say like, "Hey, um, I noticed you were recruiting for this role. Before applying, I was hoping to have a conversation with you, and like I have a few questions about culture because the cultural alignment is very important to me. Couple of things that really showed them relevance in terms of like I've worked in certain industry that's quite similar, like to keep it very confidential conversation, or it could be like whatever. And I was hoping to have a confidential chat with you before applying online. It's very respectful, very relevant, very targeted, very like hard for me. Like I have no reason why I would say like, "No, I don't want to have a chat with this person." Then I received hundreds of LinkedIn messages like this. Hi, dear hiring manager. I noticed you are recruiting for this. I have 15 years experience. I am so great. I am this. I am that. I. Delete, delete, delete. That is just not like you see how you can actually build relationships and use that as a connection point rather than just like, okay, I'm going to bulk out these messages and send it copy paste, copy paste, copy paste to as many people as possible. And you can see how you ruin potential connections like that. So this is what I mean. Like always understand that there is a human being at the other side, and use your relationship building skills, use those skills that you have, and I know you have them, to actually like think how can I transfer that into my job search. And don't take it personal if people don't respond. Like I've had situations that I didn't have time to check my LinkedIn inbox because you receive messages from all over the place. You have your emails, you have like I have WhatsApp, I have like my personal WhatsApp, my business WhatsApp, I have my business email, my personal email. You have your text messages, at the time it's Slack, you have Teams. Like you have so many inputs like that people just like tend to just like not attend to all of them. So don't make it a personal thing if they don't respond in the time that you think they should respond. Don't make it about how bad and crap and not enough and how much you suck as a person. Don't make it about that, because like that is not going to help you get to whatever goal it is that you want to achieve. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, so here are my tips on how to really work on your messages on LinkedIn when you actually approach them for jobs that you have seen. Now, if we are not connected, make sure to connect with me. I love to help people transform their careers. And so the more people I can help with that, whether it's the job search or the leadership development, like doesn't matter. Either way, like the more people I can help and transform their careers, the more fulfilled I feel and the more beneficial it will be for everyone involved. And if you have like some comments or you have like an idea of something that a question that you might have, feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to see what it is that you think. And if you want to just join a community, it's a very small community at this stage. I'm sure it will grow, or that's the intention of the roundtable. But the roundtable is really an opportunity for us professionals like to connect, to share insights. And this is a roundtable, so yes, of course I have so many insights to share about job searching, leadership development, and so on, and personal branding. But like you have more knowledge than you know, and you have been in certain situations, and some, like even yesterday, so yesterday we had a roundtable about interview disasters, and somebody that just like showed up very new, was the first time that she attended. She said like, oh, what do I do in this situation? And then somebody that actually a client of mine gave advice and said like, actually I've been in the same situation, and even though I don't know 100% the answer, this is the things that I've done. And so it gives you like this sense of like, oh my god, I'm not alone, because we all experience challenges at work. We all have things that we think like, oh my god, is it just me, or are other people experiencing this, or questions that we have. And we don't learn this stuff at school. We just thrown in and we expect to just figure it out, and some do and some don't. And what we do is by copy and pasting other people, but we lose our authenticity and blah blah blah, whole different problem. But like that is one thing that we do. And other thing we do is just like we forget like ourselves, and we just wipe it under the carpet, and we just like pretend to be like everybody else, and forget the uniqueness that it is that we can offer to this world, our unique value proposition, our genius zone. And we, because we want to fit in, we don't want to rock the boat. And we yeah, there's like we don't want to talk about any problems to our current employer, or we just maybe talk about them, but we don't want to look incompetent to our manager, so we might not ask the full question. We only talk to our partners or friends a couple of times, but we don't want to really like nag them and keep on saying these things to them and bother them. So this is what basically the roundtable is. It's an opportunity for you to just like soak up wisdom, unconventional wisdom. We share things, different views. People have very different views, and that makes a really good roundtable, because you pick up things that resonates with you, and you actually like say, that won't work. But people need to have a growth mindset and look at opportunities that would work for them in that given situation. And sometimes it's about taking an opportunity and really like saying, how can I make it work for me? It's not about taking that exact strategy that Caroline or anybody has said and just like apply that. It's like, okay, what elements can I take from that strategy and apply it to my own? Whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's personal branding strategies, whether it's leadership strategies, networking, navigating politics, whether it's interviewing, job search, resume, whatever it is, just like be open minded to actually like learn as much as possible. Like I said, we don't learn these things at school, so don't try to do it alone. Like reach out to myself, join a round table, like if the subject is really applicable to you, and learn and see what you can take from it. And then this is really important, then share it with others, because this is how everybody grows, isn't it? Anyway, very passionate about that. I will leave you, lovely people, for today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I hope to see new people or people that want to rejoin in the round table next week. And yeah, that's it. Perfect. Thank you so much, and have a lovely rest of the week. Thanks. Bye bye.